The fallen giants are back on their feet.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the 1 to 11 Kits podcast. I've got a great guest on today, Max. Welcome to the show, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. And as always, I'm joined by John, the AFC Kit Geek. So today, Max, we're gonna talk about. We set you a little challenge, didn't we? On Monday, we asked you to come up with your top 5 home shirts, which is a lot harder than it sounds, I think, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's a lot to narrow down. You don't appreciate how many good kits there are out there. But I'm used to talking about the team. It's the first time I've sat down on a full-on podcast and talk about kits. So I'm looking forward to it.
And John, obviously, we'll get your insight and opinions onto his picks. We've both seen his list. It's not quite the same as maybe what I would have put. How different is it before we release the countdown? Is it to yours?
There's definitely two that I would. Two at least that I would definitely have in my top 5. It is a tough choice. It's looking at them now. It's a tough choice. There's one in there that I wouldn't be in my top 5, and I'll tell you which one that is when we get to it. There's one that it isn't in there, but I've got it to show. But I think that sadly, without giving too much away, shows my age a bit. But there's definitely some good ones and some ones that I think people will guess, and maybe not so. So I'm looking. There's one that you threw in, Max, that I saw in the chat that I didn't expect to put in.
Really?
And I liked it, so I'm happy with that. So
fair dues. I think one of the great things about football kits is the memories and all the different reasons why we love certain ones. And this is my reason why I love talking about what people's favourites are, because you get some great stories about a certain memory or a certain day that you wore and stuff. And that's what I'm looking forward to today. So before we start, what was your first ever football shirt? Do you remember?
Well, I got it on the day of my first game. It was 2011. That was my first game when I was about 10. The Genting Casino shirt with, I think I just have my name on the back. It wasn't the best shirt ever. I don't know where it is now, but yeah, it probably wasn't the best shirt to start off. But that sort of era from like 2012 to 2013, 14, 15, I think the shirts are pretty ropey, weren't they? Like in my opinion, the era, Genting Casinos, not a fan of them. So, but yeah, I've got some decent ones. I'm looking forward to showing what I've got.
When you've obviously gone through this 5 that you've picked, what sort of things have you considered? What thought process did you go through before going with the final ones?
I think, like you touched on earlier, I think the main thing is memories, sort of, but then I'm a big fan of like the classic sort of 90s shirt as well. So a couple of them are from the 90s. I'm a big fan of the classic look as well. Even in modern day shirts, not even Villa, just anyone. Like, I'm a big fan of classic smart shirts rather than just full of sponsors and things like that. So the classic look is what I'm a fan of.
What is it about the classic shirts that maybe catch your eye compared to modern shirts?
I don't know. I think some of them are quite wacky as well. Like even the one John's got on there, you just wouldn't see a team these days make a kit like that. They're fairly simplistic these days, and they're safe, purely probably to do with sales or something like that. But I think back in the day, they like to take risks a little bit more with the kits. Probably something to do with that.
So should we head on with the list? What was your pick for number 5? We'll go from 5 downwards.
Is 92-93 Umbro shirt. It's got the drawstrings, which I'm a big fan of. It's got the nice little detailing on as well. I don't know if you'd be able to pick it up, maybe, but it's got AVFC, the sort of detailing on there, on the shirt, on the claret. Like I said, it's a classic shirt. Got the blue along the top as well. It's just nice drawstrings as well, which again you don't get these days. But
no, you don't.
Yeah, it's really good material as well. It's like I said, a classic feel. Mitre copiers, big fan, and that's why it's in the top 5. Really nice shirt.
What do you make of this one, John?
I really like this one. Again, I was sort of growing up with this, and it comes back to like Dane Atkinson is the first name that jumps out for me in this shirt. As just being an era sort of starting off in the Premier League, where this was the shirt we wore when we came. Was it second? Was this the second? Yeah, the first season in, and we came second in it. So playing good. We wouldn't beat anyone with kids. So we were playing some good football. And Dane Atkinson. It was this home one, wasn't it? The goal at Wimbledon. This was the umbrella picture, wasn't it? With the umbrella in the rain at Wimbledon was this shirt. So this was definitely a favourite growing up. I like this shirt. Mitre copiers is a good one, and the drawstrings, as annoying as they are, I've had to replace mine because they got absolutely hammered, and it was hard to get some that match. But I'm definitely agree with this one. This is a top class kit for me.
Yeah, I think it's a class kit. It's one that we yet to appear on the podcast, which is great. So
Yep.
I'm really glad that you picked this one. It's also the final season of Umbro before we change over to Asics, isn't it? And it's one of the final seasons where we actually get just numbers on the back of the shirt rather than names and numbers. And you also see a player differences on this shirt on the badge as well, which is good. We don't have one to share, but I'm sure there'll be a picture in there. So yeah,
one of the few player ones I can't see.
Yeah,
one of the few player ones I haven't seen much of.
Yeah, same. It is a hard one to get on the actual old player front. But yeah, it's an absolute banger, isn't it?
Mm.
What about number? Oh, yeah.
So what would you pick then? Have you seen much? I mean, this is going to make me sound old, but have you seen much of the football from this shirt, or is it just the shirt that you've seen around?
It's just going to be the shirt. I think, like you said, the Atkinson one sticks in the mind when you do see that shirt for the first time. But it's just old clips, like the classic kits back in the classic clips of goals, like you said, that do remind you of the shirt and things like that. But yeah, like I said, my first shirt was in 2011, so I haven't seen a lot of football in the shirts that I've picked. But yeah, it's just seeing the old clips and classic goals and things like that in the shirt that do give you a good sort of feel for it, as well as the actual design of it.
Because it's one of the ones that are collar, isn't it? Because a lot of shirts in and around this era were definitely collar based, and Man United obviously had a very similar template to it with their yellow and green one, which was famous and had the drawstrings on it too. But it's quite bold to just have like this completely collarless shirt. So again, like you said, there's a lot of safe options nowadays, but this definitely wasn't a traditionally safe option, but a nice shirt.
It'd be good as well if we can find the picture of the Palmer shirt as well. So Palmer have got this shirt as well in yellow and blue, the exact same template with the drawstrings as well. So hopefully we'll find a picture of that. If you know of any more templates of this shirt, comment below, and we'll definitely be interested to see pictures of other teams that wore this shirt as well. Great start, Max.
Nice one.
Good choice. So we'll move on to 4. So this, I'll let you introduce it. This one was, I think this was the one that surprised me more than anything from the list, but I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, so this is a kit that I don't have. I think if you are going to get the real version of this, it is very, very expensive. And you can probably imagine why. It's the 1982 classic claret and blue home kit. Obviously, we won the European Cup in the away kit, but the home kit is still classic. I think why I like it is because it's so simple. I think I like the round badge. It's that's all it is. It's just the badge, claret, and then blue sleeves. You can't get more simple from that. The collar's nice as well. It's just as simple as you like. Can't go wrong. Early 80s kit. Really, really like it. And I would like to get my hands on it, but like I said, it is so hard to find and really, really expensive. But hopefully one day I'll add it to my collection because it is an absolute beauty.
It's a great shirt, isn't it? Really iconic, obviously, winning the league and winning the European Cup in that shirt. Lacoste Sportif did a brilliant job. What I really like about this one is the material. I haven't seen the real one, haven't had the real one and sold it. It's kind of like a felt, like it just feels completely different to the retro club shop one that you get, which is just, it looks the same, but the material is completely different. And as you said, the round badge, which is on the original, just looks amazing. It's like a big stitched one right in the center. And normally, I don't think badges right in the middle look that good, but on this one, it just looks amazing, doesn't it? And if you can find it as well with Davenport's on, I think it looks better with Davenport's on. I don't know what you guys think.
I always like a sponsor. I always like a sponsor on shirts. I know that wasn't really the done thing at that point, but I am a fan of the sponsor. You mentioned the badge. Max, have you got a favourite badge? I mean, we're going across, if you look at the shirts that are coming up, we're going across a whole stretch of different badges that we've had. Is there a badge that you particularly prefer?
Do you know, this is quite... I think the classic one you see from Villa fans is they love the round badge. Whether that's just because they associate it with the European Cup win. But for me, I really do like the round badge. I've seen a few people giving it some stick, but I think it's definitely better than probably the one now, the one we prepared on it. Just the one from the early 2000s and things like that. I just like the old classic ones as well. Even the one on the 57 FA Cup final shirt as well, like with just the AV and things like that. But I really like the circle one. That probably is. I'll probably say that's my favourite ever. You see a lot these days, people campaigning to get the round badge back, but I think we should leave it in the past. It is iconic, it is classic, and yeah, I'll probably say that's my favourite one for sure.
I could see it coming back in like a ceremonial capacity, like 150 years or 125 years. The when we celebrate some sort of club anniversary, you can or like 50 years since we won the Champions League or something like that. You can imagine it will get brought back at some point on a kit, and hopefully they'll redo the 1982 one, 1981, 1982 in some sort of future montage kit that comes out, which would be good.
Yeah, it'd be good to see some sort of homage to it, like some way down the line to mark an anniversary of it as a one-off special. I think Max is right. I think you don't want to keep going back to the old things and almost giving in to what people sort of keep saying about badges. I think it's had its time, and I think as a sort of a celebratory shirt, I think it would be good to have.
Yeah, well, we've seen it with Man City. They've come back to their original badge. A lot of clubs do it for a while, and in celebration capacity, I think it would be good, but maybe not forever. We'll just keep adapting and keep changing. Do you remember when Leeds went to change their badge and it lasted like 2 or 3 days?
The Pro Evo badge.
That was amazing. Make sure you pop a picture up right now as we're discussing this.
It was an absolute shocker, horrible. That badge was. Who was in the design team on that one? I was just having a laugh.
But I think a good start, a really strong start. We've come second in the league in the first season of the Premier League with your 5th choice. We've won the Champions League and we've won the European Cup in the first division with the second choice at number 4. So now we go to number 3. More silverware with this one as well. What made you pick the next shirt?
Yeah, coming in number 3 is the 94 Muller shirt. Shaun, you've got it there. It just is an absolute beauty with the blue stripes going down, the buttons at the top, Asics as well. I think the sponsors class, Muller. Yeah. Sponsors can go either of 2 ways, let's be honest. They can ruin a shirt or they can make a shirt. And for me, 100%, they've made this shirt what it is. I think, with the red border, some might say that it doesn't fit, but I think it's absolutely classic. And like you said, we won silverware, the 94 League Cup in this shirt. It is an absolute classic. It's one that I don't have as well, which is really annoying because I do want this shirt, the real version as well. You do see them floating about, but for me, it's an absolute classic, and that's why it's at number 3 for me. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think
we spoke about this one a lot.
Yeah, I've given you a bit of stick. I've seen you in the club shop version of this one, I think, and I've thrown a few comments your way. Oh, good man. Again, just an iconic shirt, isn't it? One of my absolute favourites. And just some of the players that got to play in this. You think of the team that we had. Incredible.
We spoke about this one a couple of times, haven't we? Because there's one, the Muller shouldn't work. The red should absolutely clash with the claret, and for some reason works. And the differences between the player badge, because you've got one there and I've got one here, is that the player version is crazy. If you haven't seen one up front, it's fully stitched into the shirt, rather than actually a felt badge. So the player versions and the stitched in numbers on the back is just, there's such a difference between the player version and the sort of replica one that you buy, if you like. I have seen the score drawer ones. They're not for me. They are for some people, but they're not for me. But it's definitely one to have. It's. I know you've obviously got the difference. You've got ones that have the cup winning badge on top as well. Yeah, to add into it, which just adds an extra dimension to it. But
if you're really lucky, you can find the version with the Muller yogurt for the TV games as well.
Really lucky.
Yeah, really. Just so many bits about this shirt.
There's just so many variations for a shirt.
There is, yeah. What sort of moments stick out in your mind, Max?
Well, it's got to be the League Cup win, hasn't it? It just seeing the people at Wembley, Ian Taylor lifting the cup and just things like that. To be honest, this is the sort of era that I just don't really recall too much of, obviously, but seeing clips, and that's all you see from this shirt, just Wembley, and yeah, it's just absolute class. And we haven't won that much silverware recently. Obviously, 96 was last time we won a trophy. But yeah, 94 League Cup win. That's why it's such an iconic shirt, and it is an absolute beauty.
I love them photos. I don't know who makes them. I think it might be HD Designs. And he puts like modern players in retro kits. And you
Yeah.
see them on
Yeah, pretty
Instagram,
nice.
and they always look cool. Where like Grealish in the Muller kit or stuff like that, and it always looks great.
Yeah, there's just some huge games in it. There's the Phil King taking the penalty against Inter Milan, where he just stands there with his arms in the air.
UEFA Cup. Right.
But this is definitely up there. We talk about which shirts I would pick. I've spoken about Nightfall a lot. I could talk about the Nightfall shirt for a long time. It's just a brilliant shirt. Brilliant shirt. Good choice, Max. Love getting that one. Always love getting out the 94 one whenever I get a chance to get it out again.
I think it'd be in many people's choices. Big tick from me as well, mate. So we're down to the final two. So there's obviously many kits that could have been chosen at this point. Are there any kits that missed out that you wish you could have put in this top 5?
There were a few. I was speaking just before we came on air. There was a lot of these are 90s. I think a few of the ones that were sort of 6, 7, 8 on my list were from the 80s. The 88 one we've talked about it's slightly controversial. I've said there's a lot going on that shirt, but it is a classic look, which we don't get these days. There's a lot from the 80s as well that are really, really good. But yeah, there was a few that missed out, and like you said at the start of the show, it's quite hard. It's harder than you think to get it down to 5.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really, really good kits out there, and yeah, it was hard, but I think I'm happy with my 5.
It's one of them as well where you could probably do this again in a year's time, and it could quite easily change, couldn't they? Depending on what you've been watching or what you're feeling and what you remember at the time. So, should we go on to number 2?
Yeah,
You got this one?
I do. So this is, I think this shirt, I think I like it so much is because it's sort of the first sort of era that I was watching Villa that we actually did quite well. It's the 2009-2010 Acorns shirt. I'm going to start with the sponsor. Absolutely class. It's simple. It's effective. Obviously, it's Acorns as well, which is just fantastic. It's obviously similar to the year after as well, but the reason I picked with this was because of the collar. I like the circular collar rather than like the pointed one. And yeah, it's a really simple but really, really nice shirt. And like I said, the reason I like it is because we were so successful in this shirt. You look at it, you think of Agbon Lahore in his prime, Carew as well. Just a really, really genuinely good side under Martin O'Neill and Carlos Cuellar, legend. Yeah,
Carlos, the first name that comes to my mind.
It's just a simple shirt, and yeah, it's a really, really nice one as well. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I've got the one where we had the cup final version, so they released this one obviously for the cup final and had the different sleeve patches and things for it. This would be the shirt that I wouldn't put in my top 5.
Really?
I know a lot of people love the Nike shirts. And again, this was the first season I had season tickets. Was for this shirt, and I had so many good memories in it. There was the UEFA League, the UEFA Cup. So there was the Ajax night, which was showing this shirt. I don't know. I just can't get on board with that shirt as being up there as a good shirt, and I don't know why. Because when I've spoken to people like this, people almost take offence about it. I think it would be like if someone offended my '94 shirt. I think it's a nice shirt, but this would be the one that I don't think I would go for top 5, and I think Sean's probably about to disagree with me. But
no, I just think it's fascinating and great. How and why we put different things in different areas. Your memories of being at the Villa, Max. Obviously, you're from a different time than Grandad Johnny.
Cheers, Sean. Cheers, Sean.
And this is obviously as you say, we haven't had that, a decade really of great football to talk about, and we were knocking at the door at this stage, weren't we? We were getting to domestic finals and European football, and if we can get there again consistently with this team, then that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It was the last time we were good in this shirt. That's the way I see it. It was the last time we were good. And I think, like we said at the start of the show, I think I like this shirt more for the memories rather than the actual shirt itself. So there are, like you said, there are reasons why some of us like some shirts rather than others, but I think this is more for the memories and what I see when I look at that shirt rather than the actual design and things like that than on the shirt itself.
Ashley Young, James Milner,
quality
players.
this was back, like you said, back to the season where you went to games almost expecting to win. I remember going every game, and if you didn't win, you'd be disappointed. It was. I don't remember up until now ever that being the case since, really. Obviously, you just go and hope for the best in recent years and expect the worst. And actually, this was the last time I remember going and just thinking we were going to win today, no matter who was there. We were going to win or we were going to compete, which was
that's what you want to ask for, isn't it? Just to have the chance to compete at least every home game. You want to think, oh, we've got a chance today, and we definitely had that towards the end of the championship, and hopefully we can get there again. But yeah, good choice, mate. I like that. I like that.
Choice. I just want to clear up. I don't dislike the shirt. I do like the shirt. I just wouldn't put it in my top 5 personally.
Fair enough.
But again, I should do. It should be close, but it's just.
Max is going to get all his followers now to literally buy-rate the channel. And destroy us because you've just offended it.
I'm sure my 450 followers will be devastated.
And right, so we get down to the final choice. It's like a big occasion. The best ever Aston Villa shirt. Villa on tour. His best ever Aston Villa shirt. What made you pick this one before we see it?
I think, like the previous one, it's the memories and the actual experience that I've had watching players in this shirt. I think I got my first season ticket in 2016-17, the first year in the championship. And you can probably already guess, people watching, what the shirt is by now. The Luke one from a couple of years ago. It is a nice shirt. It's different because it doesn't have the blue sleeves, and it is the first year that I saw us actually be properly good. And yeah, it was in the championship, so it's not quite the same. But the amount of memories we've got in this shirt. I'll start with the Hutton 4-2 against Blues scoring this shirt. Adoma, yeah, decent. And then just that 10-game winning run, record-breaking run, beating Albion in the semi-finals on that mental night at the Hawthorns, the final against Derby. There's so many memories from this shirt. And the fact it's made by a Villa fan, something that we've never had before. So you got a Villa fan making the kits, the captain and the manager, which is just incredible. And yeah, the 10-game run, the rubber badge, the shirt itself is really, really nice as well. The different sort of stripes of claret, 32 red, obviously a betting company, but it fits in nicely with the shirt. The collar's nice. William McGregor on the back there, nice little bit of detailing. It is a really, really nice shirt, as well as the fact I've got some incredible memories watching players in it. Abraham, Grealish, the list can go on and on and on. And the away kit from this year as well was decent. But I think for me, definitely my favourite Villa shirt ever. Is just an absolute classic. And it's so hard to get your hands on as well now. It's a fan favourite. And it goes for a lot of money because people just genuinely like it. And there isn't too many of these about. But yeah, it's a really, really class shirt. And I love it.
I think it's a good choice.
Man. I love it. It is a really good choice.
I get asked for this shirt every day on DMs. Have you got a Luke Roper home? Yeah. Have you got the Luke Roper home? Do you call it the Luke shirt? What do you refer to it as?
Yeah, it's the Luke shirt.
It is, yeah.
Only one he's ever made. Only season he's had in charge of making the shirt, and he did a bloody good job. And
he did.
It was a good job that we got promoted in it, because people's memories of just looking at this shirt instantly goes to that playoff win and all the memories that we had in it. And yeah, fair play to Luke. He's absolutely smashed this.
What I also would you pick? You go, John.
So the Luke shirts. Would the home one be the top one? So would the home, because the third was completely different and the away, as you said, was nice. Would the home one be the one because it was the playoff final, or which one would you go from that year?
I'd probably say the home one. I don't have the away one. It's a decent design, obviously white away kit. I wasn't actually a massive fan of the third one. I thought it was a little bit wacky. I think we only wore it once or twice, did we? Wore it. Yeah. Oh, of course, some issues here.
I love the third shirt. Sean's not keen. Sean's not keen on the third shirt, but I rate it really close with the home shirt. I do. I love the third shirt. Yeah.
I just remember it being unveiled at that night. I was at Yeovil away, and we wore it, and it was just a bit of a bog standard night. And I'm just not a fan of the colour scheme and things like that. But definitely, this is the main one. The away one's okay. The goalkeeper ones are wacky, aren't they? Like the bright green, bright orange. Yeah. But definitely, the home one for me is the standout one.
The point I was going to make as well is, obviously we both did well in both these kits, but what sets this above and with above so many kits is it's just iconic as well. The design aspect from this is just incredible. What what Luke's been able to do, really, I think, which what makes this shirt so special, is he's been able to infuse the heritage and what it means to be Aston Villa into a shirt like no other manufacturer's been able to do. I think that's again why it's so up there.
I think you're right. The rubberized badge, it goes sort of we spoke about a lot. I think that's such a nice. That's the thing that makes this shirt as well for me. There's so many little touches that when you sort of go and have a look, when you sort of sit and identify and have a look through it, like the McGregor on the back, the rubberized badge now is just something that's taken forward because everybody loved it. So it's just something that's carried on because it was just something that everybody liked from it. There's just so many little touches as you keep looking through the shirt that makes it such a class shirt. I mean, I love it. I have to say, I completely agree with this one. This is definitely up there for me. It's such a glorious shirt. I completely, again, it's like the '94. Any excuse to get that shirt back out again because it's just good. And the memories are amazing. That playoff final, having been there the year before and going again, you just didn't want to come away with that sinking, horrible feeling again. Yeah. But it just seemed different, and didn't it, on the day that we were never in it against Fulham. I don't. That game sort of passed us by really, but this one, the goal going in the Galaxy just before half time. Half time was absolutely class because everyone was buzzing and bouncing, and we looked in control at 2-0, and then Villa had to give us a scare by conceding to make the last 10 minutes a bit nervy, and then the scenes at the final whistle just crazy.
I really love the fact that we did it at that point as well. So some of the guys that put in a lot of work to change the dressing room or what it means to be like a Villa player managed to go out in a good way. Jedinak, Hutton, Whelan, they were all good servants for Aston Villa, and they always put in 100% when they played.
Yeah,
great choice.
So we did ask Max as well because it was only right that we said let's go through some good shirts. We thought let's see what Max thinks is a terrible home Villa shirt. So you picked one. So do you want to explain why, and I'll hold up which one it is?
Yeah, it's the horrible relegation 15-16 shirt. I don't have this shirt. I never wanted this shirt, even at the time when we were all optimistic at the start of the season. We'd beaten Bournemouth away first game. Everyone was happy. It just, whenever I look at it now, the names, Bakuna, Amavi, Okore, Idrissa Gana Gay, Arma Traore, Michael Richards, Jodin Lescott, the list goes on. And I just can't look at it without thinking of the awful time. It's just a not very nice shirt. QuickBooks, I was never a fan of them. I know I've got a frame shirt there, but I was just not a fan of the QuickBooks era and Macron either. It's just not very nice shirt. And there's detailing on it as well. Like from the bottom, there's rings around it as you go up. I'm not really sure what that's meant to be.
Yeah, it gets thicker and thinner as it goes up. The rings they get wider apart.
Not a very nice shirt.
And as we've said on the channel many times, Macron fall apart very easily.
They're a joke.
Yeah,
just look at washing machines.
But Macron, yeah, they're really bad. Well, that was amazing. Thank you, Max, for filling us in, and I really enjoyed that. Obviously, we don't just most of the time, 99% of the time, we speak about just Aston Villa.
We do,
but we love kits in general, and we love collecting kits. So, have you got some other favourite kits, like any international teams and club teams that you've got in your collection?
Yeah, I just love collecting kits, and it is a sort of obsession, and it is quite bad because some of them, the more classic you get, the more expensive you get. But I'm going to start from it is this season's PSG shirt. PSG these days just go on sort of fashion rather than just football shirts. I think they are really good. They got some incredible players, and Mbappe as well there. But all the PSG gear this year and last year is absolutely just top quality. So PSG, I'm a big fan of. I've got a mate who supports Ajax, who's Dutch, and I went over there. Seems like ages ago I think it was them in the Europa League. So I'd really like a classic Ajax shirt. I've got this year's home shirt, but you see lots of. Whoa, what is that?
That is the 1989 Ajax away shirt.
You put me in the bin there with the normal home.
young Dennis Bergkamp in this, and it's got the old badge. This is one of my favourite Ajax shirts.
Sean's collection as a way of absolutely destroying everybody else's. When you think you pull out a good shirt, Sean decides to pull one of his classics out and just destroys everybody.
But this season's away kit from Ajax has been really cool as well.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of demand for that, hasn't there? Like the grey, sort of the design on it is just crazy, and I think it's sold out really, really fast everywhere. I'd like to get my hands on that, but classic shirt that is.
I think I would have got like Donny van der Beek, so I'm glad that I didn't get that one though. Their team's been completely decimated from that team that got to the semi-final. But yeah, that was a really good team, that wasn't it? You know, from the season before last with who's the lad that went to Barcelona and the lad that went to Juventus? They were very De Jong, yeah. He's a class player. De Ligt as well, and Van der Beek and Ziyech. And then now it's what happens at Ajax, isn't it? But they'll come up with another 10 class players.
Always been the way, hasn't it?
Yeah, over the next 10 years. Their youth academy is just incredible. I love it. You know, the Dutch team has always got great players for such a small nation, such a small catchment area. But they're great at football, aren't they? Didn't you have another one as well?
Yeah, I've got one more that I want to show. It is this year's Nigeria shirt. Is like I said, I love a wacky design. The green going all over the shirt on the back as well. It's just a bit of a mad design, really, and just really, really, really nice.
Nike,
done a good job. Nice.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job over the last 2 years with quite a few shirts.
Yeah, because they did. The last one was massive as well, wasn't it? The Nigeria shirt before that, again, absolutely flew off, didn't it? Took off. It was one of those ones that you saw on eBay, like straight away going for like 150 because nobody could get their hands on it.
Yeah,
but Nike have been decent, haven't they, recently?
I love this one, and I like it when they bring back the old
the word
Nike
on it.
above, Nike above the Nike, and they've got a collar, which is great as well. Yeah, Nike doing really well.
Collar.
I wouldn't mind Nike as our sponsors again if they, that Chelsea. I don't like to hate Chelsea, but the Chelsea third kit, the black one with the orange last season was great as well. They do some class kits. Well, thank you for coming on, Max. It's been a joy.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's not nice to talk kits, and hopefully I don't get too much stick for my decisions. But I'll
sure you won't.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, lads. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers,
Let us know what you think of Max's choices in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'm sure Max will share this. If you're one of Max's followers, like and subscribe.
Give us
for plenty of classic Aston Villa football shirt content and chat from myself, from Max, and from John. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.